All right, let's dive right into this explainer and decode exactly how CryptoBot acts as a relentless, completely emotionless 24/7 trading machine. Look, if you've ever found yourself staring blankly at crypto charts at 3 a.m., fighting that awful urge to revenge trade after a bad call, well, you know exactly how exhausting and psychologically draining this market can be. Today, we're breaking down a complete automated solution that just completely eliminates that human element. We're talking about a high-performance SaaS architecture that plugs straight into your exchange, scans hundreds of pairs, runs complex technical analysis, and manages your risk using cold, hard math. This entire command center ecosystem seamlessly connects everything you need. It manages your strategies right on Kraken, handling both long and short positions with up to 2x margin, and taps into Binance for liquidity hunting, all funneling into one sleek, high-tech dashboard. So you get this real-time, comprehensive view of your entire portfolio. And to be clear, this isn't just some basic script you run on your laptop. It's a fully hosted infrastructure running on a dedicated server with 99.9% uptime. It literally guarantees you never miss a golden opportunity, whether you're sleeping, working, or just outliving your life. So here is our roadmap for today. We're going to break this system down into 4 logical pillars. 1, non-custodial security. 2, the 4 core strategies. 3, the execution pipeline. And 4, automated risk management. Let's start right at the foundation with Section 1, non-custodial security, your keys, your crypto. In crypto, security isn't just a nice-to-have feature, right? It's the entire ball game. So the absolute most crucial point here is that CryptoBot is completely non-custodial. What that means in plain English is your money never, ever leaves your personal Kraken wallet. You aren't depositing your hard-earned funds into some shadowy, unknown third-party platform. The whole system operates entirely outside of the custody loop, which honestly just gives you total peace of mind. It operates strictly through secure API keys. When you configure your Kraken API, you set it strictly to treating only permissions. That means the bot can place a smartly calculated 2x leveraged trade to maximize your gains, but it literally cannot withdraw a single cent of your funds. It has absolute zero withdrawal access. Plus, since you hold the keys, you have the power to instantly revoke that API access at any moment. It's essentially professional-grade trading layered right on top of bank-grade personal security. Moving on to Section 2, the brains, the 4 core strategies. Now that we know your funds are locked down, let's look at the actual intelligence driving these trades. The bot doesn't just guess or rely on a single trick. Relying on one strategy in crypto is pretty much a recipe for disaster because the market is always shifting. Instead, it cycles through 4 core active strategies: break of structure, break pullback continue, incurred VWAP, and trend continuation. Let's break down exactly how these work. First up is BOSS, or break of structure. This strategy patiently waits for the market to bottom out into an oversold zone, say an RSI dipping under 40. It finds the absolute swing low of the last 47 candles and then strikes exactly when the price breaks back above that structure with a surge of volume. It is specifically designed to catch those massive, major trend reversals right at the pivot point. Then we have BPC, which stands for break, pullback, continue. This one is a bit more cunning. It looks for sudden shifts in momentum. For example, if it's looking for a short position, it actively hunts for a bull trap, like when a breakout above a resistance range suddenly fails. It lets the impatient buyers get trapped, and then safely enters on the pullback once the price drops back into that range. Next up is AVWAP. This strategy anchors the volume-weighted average price to a recent significant swing low or high. It treats this volume-weighted line like an invisible, dynamic trampoline. So when the price dips and touches that VWAP line, the bot anticipates a precise rebound and triggers a trade, perfectly capitalizing on hidden institutional support levels. And finally, trend. This one simply identifies massive, established waves in the market and confidently rides them. It uses indicators like ADX and a triple exponential moving average to confirm that the trend has serious momentum. But it won't just FOMO buy at the peak. It waits for a healthy, natural pullback to the EMA 20 line before jumping in to ride the rest of that wave. All right, Section 3, the execution pipeline, anatomy of a trade. Having a brilliant strategy is one thing, but flawlessly executing it 24/7 is where the technology truly shines. The entire platform runs on a relentless 4-step pipeline. Step 1 is the detector, scanning an insane 200 pairs every 3 seconds on a 4-hour time frame. When it spots an opportunity, it hands it off to the watcher to validate the exact timing. Then the executor runs through strict safety gates before actually placing the order. And finally, the closer steps in to manage the exit. I absolutely love this analogy. Think of the watcher as the system's sniper. The detector might spot a great 4-hour trend, but the watcher isn't going to blindly pull the trigger. It drops all the way down to a 5-minute time frame, waiting for perfect momentum and very strict RSI thresholds to align. Actually, if the setup takes too long, say 20 minutes without confirmation, the watcher will just abandon the signal. It demands absolute perfection. Which brings us to Section 4, Automated Risk Management, Protecting Your Capital. Making money is only half the battle. Keeping it is where the real challenge lies. So before a trade is even allowed to execute, the bot calculates a market regime score out of 100. Think of it as a weather filter so you don't accidentally sail into a hurricane. It looks at trend structure, market breadth, basically how many top altcoins are in the green, and the 24-hour movement of Bitcoin and Ethereum. If that regime score drops below 45, the bot strictly forbids opening new long positions. It simply refuses to fight the current. But the absolute cornerstone of this defense is a magic number, plus 1.5%. This is where letting a machine handle things completely outshines human trading. Here's how it works. Once a trade achieves a 2% gain, the system instantly activates break-even protection. It automatically locks in a stop loss at exactly plus 1.5%. From that very second onward, it is mathematically impossible for you to lose money on that trade. It covers all your trading fees and secures a profit, totally removing all stress from the equation while the bot chases even more upside. And as the trade evolves, the closer dynamically adapts to market volatility. It uses an average true range, or ATR, to measure market chop. So during a massive bull run, it allows for a wider trailing stop, giving your asset room to breathe and climb. Then, as the price really starts peaking, a mechanism called a ratchet automatically tightens the stop, squeezing out every possible dollar before the market inevitably turns. When you put these two approaches side by side, the sheer technological advantage is honestly undeniable. Manual trading leaves you completely exhausted, glued to screens, and incredibly vulnerable to emotional revenge trading. CryptoBot, on the other hand, just applies cold logic. It enforces a strict cooldown period after a loss. It can scan 200 pairs simultaneously, which a human literally cannot do. And it defends your portfolio with automated, highly adaptive math. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want you to ask yourself a serious question. How much time, energy, and money are you currently losing to manual, emotional trading? Are you ready to embrace the automated edge and let cold, calculated logic take the wheel? The market never sleeps, and with this system securely tied to your Kraken account, you don't have to either. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive into CryptoBot's ecosystem. Keep learning, stay focused, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.